Hi, everybody. Today I'm going to read you a story called Livingston Mouse, and we're going to take a look at the illustrations and use those to answer questions, and then you'll have some work to seesaw. Livingston Mouse by Pamela Duncan, Edwards, and Henry Cole is the illustrator. Livingston Mouse was an explorer. He spent his days running here and there, investigating this and that. One night, Livingston's mother said to her little mice, "You've grown too big to live in my small nest. It's time for you to find places to build nests on your own." "I'd like to build my nest in the greatest place in the world," said Livingston. "Mother, where is that?" "Well," replied Mother, "I have heard that China is very nice." "That's it," announced Livingston, kissing his mother goodbye. "I will go to find China." After a while, Livingston came to the biggest building he'd ever seen. "It's already divided into nest places," said Livingston. "That's incredible. This must be China." "Do you think this is China?" "No. What is this?" "Yeah, this is like a dresser or like something that you would see at the library that holds cards." "Okay, so these are like a chest of drawers. That's not China." "There's a lot of room," murmured Livingston. He sat down to plan his nest. A loud clicking noise came from next door. Livingston saw a beetle turning somersaults. "Excuse me," said Livingston, "but do you do that often?" "All the time," replied the beetle. "I'm a click beetle." Suddenly an angry voice yelled, "Stay over on your own side!" "Stay over on your own side!" yelled a second voice. "I don't know why I live with you. You never quit complaining." "Excuse me," said Livingston, "but do they do that often?" "All the time," replied the beetle. So here's the beetle, and these two guys over here are fighting, right? "Cockroaches are argumentative." "I had no idea China would be so noisy," cried Livingston. "China?" laughed the beetle. "This isn't China. Why don't you try that way?" Livingston decided to scamper in the direction the beetle had pointed. He found himself in front of a tall white shape rising majestically into the air. Up one of its slopes ran a rope ladder. "That's fantastic," said Livingston. This must be China." He ran up the rope ladder and down into the dark interior. "It's nice and quiet," murmured Livingston. He sat down to plan his nest. A nasty human smell hit Livingston's nose. "Ugh," he gasped. "I had no idea China would be so small or smell this bad." So I'm going to go back here. Is this China? No. What do you think that is? It smells and it looks like that. Yeah, it looks like a shoe to me. "China!" chittered a camel cricket. "This isn't China. Why don't you try that way?" Livingston ran on, gulping in air to get rid of the nasty smell. He skittered to a halt before a steep slope made out of pieces of thin woven wood. From the top of the slope, Livingston could see peculiar objects scattered about a cloth. "That's wonderful," said Livingston. "This must be China. I'm going to stop here. Is that China?" "No. What do you think it is?" "Looks like a picnic basket." "Not China. That illustration told us he's not in China." With a leap, he landed on the cloth. "It's quiet and there's no bad smell," murmured Livingston. He sat down to plan his nest. Livingston noticed a bottle with a big drop of red liquid dripping from its neck. This is called the neck. He took a big mouthful. Yow! He howled. I had no idea food would be so hot in China. China, barked a raccoon on his way to the trash cans. This isn't China. Why don't you try that way? See the raccoon? What do you think that red sauce was? It didn't tell us exactly what it was, but we can look at the illustration to see. See how he's acting? What do you think? Someone in the live class thought it might be jelly. Someone else said hot sauce. I think it's hot sauce. Livingston plodded off, his tongue burning. Soon he came to a square room with an open gate at the entrance. In the middle of the room, a piece of cheese lay on top of a slope. That's neat, said Livingston. He's quiet, there's no bad smell, and I'm sure that's most food. This must be China. He sat down to plan his nest. Where do you think he is now? Look at the illustration. Is he in China? Nope. Where do you think he is? Yeah, we thought a mouse trap might be a mouse trap because we see like the cage, and we see this is like set up as a trap. I've seen traps with a piece of cheese, and there's a door to slam on Livingston. Livingston's mouth began to water at the thought of the cheese. I'll just take a tiny piece, he thought. Run! Someone squealed so loudly the cheese began to wobble. Eek! Screeched Livingston as the gate clanked down, trapping its tail, the end of his tail. Dear, 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 fussed the voice. That was a silly thing to do. Two large rats headed to the heap at the bottom of the gate. You're lucky, said one of the rats, holding up his tail. Look what happened to me. I had no idea living in China would hurt so much, cried Livingston. China, laughed the other rat. This isn't China. Why don't you try that way, they said together. Livingston scurried across the damp grass, shuddering to think what might have happened to his tail. Eventually he came to a tall wooden post. Sitting on top of the post was the perfect little house for a mouse. That's amazing, said Livingston. I love the pointed roof and the big picture windows. This must be China. Do you think that's China? No? What do you think it is? A light. We thought it was like a lamp, outside lamp. The reason we think it's outside is because there's grass and stuff here. And it says he scurried across the damp grass, so he's outside. Quiet, murmured Livingston. There's no bad smell, no food to sting my tongue, and no mean gate to hurt me. He sat down to plan his nest. With a loud pop, light flooded the little house, blinding Livingston. Livingston wiped tears from his eyes. I had no idea nights would be so bright in China, he sighed to a Luna moth. I wonder what a Luna moth is. Let me look. Ooh. See the Luna moth? Like a cool green moth. That's a neat one. China, gulped the moth shyly. This is not China. Why don't you try that way? Poor Livingston. He had had a headache now from too much noise. He felt sick from the bad smell. His tongue smarted. His tail throbbed. His eyes were stinging. And he still hadn't found China. Wearily, he set off again. And then he saw it. It lay on its side in a shaft of moonlight, glistening blues and whites. It had a bridge to enter by. Wonder if this is the bridge. A large inner room with a secret passage leading out on one side. Oh, gasped Livingston. What do you think that is? In the crew, we turned it over to get a better look. What do you think that is? Yeah, it's a teapot, and at the bottom it says made in China. Oh, gasped Livingston, hardly daring to breathe. That is the greatest. A bat glided over Livingston's head. Excuse me, called Livingston. Could you tell me what that great place is? Oh, that? Sniffed the bat. You don't want to bother with that. That's just some old china. Some old china? But I've been looking everywhere for china, said Livingston. This is where I want to build my nest and live happily ever after. And that is exactly what he did. So what did he do in his china? What did he do there once he got there? Take a close look. In our live class, we said he started his own little family. That's the end. All right. So now you're going to go into the into the Seesaw classroom. And there are 5 illustrations from this book. And you're going to click on the question that's by the arrow. And you're going to listen to the question. And then you're going to answer the question by using the microphone. Okay, there's 5 of them. When you're all done, just click that green check. All right. Those of you who are watching this, we miss you in our live lessons. Hope you're okay.